Okay, let's go over this stuff here. Um, so yeah, I did start looking through that guitar grimoire, and I looked for any mode that would match what we got here, and none of them, not a single one. So it is, I don't know, you call it like a brand new scale, one that's never been named, modes that have never been named. But you could kind of name things in a way just to describe them. It's much like a suspended flat second, flat five. Like you're explaining in that chord name, you got a flat second and a flat five. Um, so as far as like riffing and whatnot, just like things we've looked at before, any of the notes available to us, you can just play and make some stuff out of it. Just kind of targeting those notes on the low E string is a good idea. Or the E and the A string. So right there, I'm kind of looking at a convenient pattern to mess with, like right here, that 3, 4, or 3, 5, 6, 4, 6, 7. I like to look for things like that when I'm messing around in a new scale shape. Looking for what would be an easy thing to play. Was I playing the wrong stuff there? Whoop. I'm definitely gonna make. I am making mistakes there. Anyway, so like describing that first one, if you wanted to actually describe it, I'm thinking like, what's it most like? Like, what mode do you know, or what mode would I know that most resembles the first group of intervals there? And one thing that stands out to me is I'm thinking like, okay, Phrygian, because you got the flat second there, you got the flat three. Oh, but we also have a flat five. Well, that's very Locrian. So you could call this the first scale there an E Locrian natural six, natural seven. Because we'd wind up with that. Because Locrian and then you just take the sixth and seventh note and raise it up a half step. And there you go. Next one. So this one, you can knowing harmonic minor modes is helpful because there is a mode called Ionian sharp 5. So this one, we have Ionian sharp 5, sharp 6. So that would be taking the fifth and sixth note and raise it up a half step. So if I just did, F Ionian, but now we got to raise the fifth and the sixth note. The way it's laid out there would be more like a bit easier to play. Should have highlighted that up here too. And then the next one. So here's definitely an odd thing. Like you got a sharp 4. Well, that's very Lydian. That's a Lydian thing. But you got a flat 3, so that's not very Lydian at all. Yeah, you got a flat 3, which is very minor, and then you got a 6 in there. That's Dorian. So 1 flat 3 and a 6. Hey, that's Dorian. Okay, maybe we can use that. Dorian also has a flat 7. Okay, so now I'm looking at this. I would just describe it as G Dorian sharp 4 sharp 5, because that is a way you could describe it. Because G Dorian, you'd have your 1 2 flat 3 4 5 6 flat 7, and here we're going to sharpen the 4 into flat 3 sharp 4 sharp 5, and then there's your flat 7. Just do it over here. Wait a minute. Let me go some up. 1 2 flat 3 sharp 4 sharp 5 6. Yeah, I did screw it up. Yeah, so E is the 6, F is the flat 7. Dorian. And our little new mode, Dorian sharp 4 sharp 5. So yeah, I'm just naming it this way, just being very descriptive as to what is closely related to, and then what makes it unique. All right, so this next one, another that's, knowing harmonic minor modes can be helpful, and there may be another mode that it's more closely related to, but I'm just going off of what I got memorized. So flat second, very Phrygian, and we also have a major third though. So that's a lot like Phrygian dominant, because Phrygian dominant, that is in harmonic minor. That's the 5th mode of harmonic minor. And those intervals would be basically a Phrygian mode, but it has a major third instead of a minor third. It's like, in this case, starting on A, A Phrygian, you'd have A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A. So 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. Phrygian dominant takes that flat third and makes it a major third. So then you'd have this for Phrygian dominant. You got A, B flat, C sharp, D, E, F, G. 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. So what's different here is now we have a sharp 4 and a natural 6. So we can call this Phrygian dominant sharp 4 natural 6. At least it kind of describes what the hell's happening. And next, holy moly, I think this one, it's like, I know Super Lydian's a thing. Let me just look that up real quick, because I did come across that while trying to research this thing. Let me see. The hell is Super Lydian? I'll get rid of that. Super Lydian scale, often called Lydian dominant or acoustic scale. Oh, interesting. Maybe it's not what I'm thinking of. Because apparently that's just a Lydian with a flat 7. Huh. Well, never mind. I thought it was going to be a lot like Super Locrian, where like everything's flat, and Super Lydian would have everything sharp. So, all right, well. Let's see, let me ask this. What scale is most like the following intervals? 1, sharp 2, sharp 3, sharp 4, sharp 5, 6, and 7. Most likely, was that Lydian augmented? All right, so let's look up Lydian augmented. So Lydian augmented is... Well, it doesn't give a lot of stuff right there. Man, I'm getting all kinds of pop-ups on this Wikipedia page. All right, basically, Lydian augmented is just has a sharp 5. Okay. That's part of the melodic minor scale, third mode of melodic minor. Well, I guess we could call this, oh God, I don't know, Lydian augmented sharp 2, sharp 3. It's a gross name. Lydian augmented sharp 2, sharp 3. So that's a one way you could say it. You could also just say Lydian sharp 2, sharp 3, sharp 5. I don't know. Lydian augmented sharp 2, sharp 3. Yeah, it's a hell of a thing to think about. Versus. Oh, I'm playing it in the wrong spot anyway. Let's play it on the B flat. Lydian. And then you sharp the 2 and the 3 and the 5. Okay, the next one. What can we do to describe this? Let's see. So you got a flat third, very minor. Then you got a flat 5. And flat 6, double flat 7. I guess we could call it Locrian natural 2, double flat 7. Because it's got a lot of stuff that Locrian has. The flat 3, flat 5, that's very Locrian. And the flat 6, Locrian has that too. Double flat 7, that's a unique one. So is the 2. So yeah, I guess Locrian natural 2, double flat 7. You could use that to describe this one. Versus Locrian. And oh, this one, holy moly, we starting off with a chromatic sequence there, yeah, with the flat second, the double flat third. And looking at that grimoire, there's other modes that have double flat thirds, double flat 7s, and things like that. So there are very closely related modes to these. Why this was never a thing, like why aren't these named? I have no idea. I guess this group of notes or these groups of intervals were never used widely enough to get a name. That's I only guess. Anyway, so right, I was looking at the Hungarian minor modes, and that one, yeah, Locrian double flat third, double flat 7. So I know Hungarian minor. It's like, I used to practice it in like A Hungarian minor. A Hungarian minor, we'd have A, B, C, D sharp, E, F, and G sharp. That's Hungarian minor. Like, to me, it's like the harmonic minor of harmonic minor. So like your natural minor, harmonic minor, Hungarian minor. all three again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting on the fourth note in. Started over here. That would be, yeah, the fourth mode in Hungarian minor. And looking at this sheet here, it is Locrian double flat third, double flat 7. So Locrian, starting on the D sharp, would be this. So let's make one change. Let's do a double flat third. So that's the flat third. That would be the double flat third. So again, I'm just doing the double flat third. Now doing the double flat 7, now we'd have this. Which is very close to what we have here for this new mode here. But instead of a double flat 7, we have a double flat 6. So we could just call it, you know, instead of Locrian double flat third, double flat 7, let's call it Locrian double flat 3, double flat 6. So just that one little change there from, you know, Hungarian minor. So it really shows this is actually quite close to Hungarian Hungarian minor in here. Apparently it's also called double harmonic minor, which I guess that makes sense when I say it sounds like a harmonic minor, like the harmonic minor of harmonic minor. So Hungarian minor is also called double harmonic minor. Anyway, so yeah, this one. Whoop. And there we go. I think that covers it. Yeah, chords that you could use with this. Now, you could, if you just want to riff, you know, make up riffs, then you can definitely use power chords, you know, start it on any of the notes that you have laid out there. Soloing over it, that's going to be a problem. That's going to cause a problem right there as far as, you know, playing over power chords, because although you can make it sound, you know, like these new modes, scales, whatever you want to call them, even though you can make it sound like it fits well with that, with power chords, because the fifth interval really just emphasizes the root notes. It doesn't make it sound minor or major. Soloing on top of it's a different story, because with just straight up fifth chords, well, the fifth interval, when you keep it as a perfect fifth for all the chords, well, then it doesn't fit the key or the scale, in this case, these scales anymore. It's like playing an E5 here. They're just kind of going up these notes. That. It's like a beefed up version of that. And like when you do the power chords, it's just a beefed up version of the single note thing. So, again, like, I think it sounds fairly similar. It's just when you have the chords, it just sounds a little bit bigger, like a little beefier, right? Soloing on that's not going to work so well when you're using just those notes, because the E5 chord, that actually doesn't exist in here. Because you see we got a B flat. F5 doesn't work because we have a C sharp instead of a C. G5, well, that doesn't work either because we have a D sharp instead of a G. A5 works though. That one you can use. A5, that would work. B flat 5, that also works. And yeah, that's it. C sharp 5 wouldn't work as far as like soloing on top of with the same notes, because you have a G natural, not a G sharp. So the only two actual power chords that fit within those notes is A5 and B flat 5. That's it. You have diminished fifth at the beginning, augmented fifth, augmented fifth again. You can do solo over that. Then jump over here. These diminished fifths happening. So you could solo over that and stay within those notes. Now, yeah, I need to get my little looper set back up so I can actually play something like that and then solo on it. This is already a 21-minute video, so I think I need to wrap this up here. Like clean chords, you could do something with that. You come up with interesting things. Like if we base things off of triads, like looking at the beginning here. Oh, that's cut off. So, you got an E diminished that you could use because you got to 1 flat 3 and the flat 5. So you can definitely do an E diminished there. And the next one, you got the 1 3 sharp 5. So that would be an F augmented. I can do that here. Or E diminished here. F augmented. And then the next thing, we got 1 flat 3 and a sharp 5. So you could, I guess, call this a a G minor sharp 5. You could do something like that. I think that'd be a good name for it. And that actually sounds quite nice. Yeah, the 1, that's this case, sharp 5. That's your 1 again in the minor third. Because really, another way to look at it is you got a D major or D sharp major over a G there. So it's like just an inversion or a voicing of this. Actually, voicing makes more sense, I think. Voicing of this D sharp major chord. So yeah, E diminished, F augmented, G minor sharp 5. And then moving on, you got 1 3 and 5, so just a good old A major. And then the next we'd have 1 sharp 3 sharp 5. Jesus. So that would be your augmented, and then that would be the sharp 3. I guess you could call that B flat augmented sharp 3. Yeah, I guess that would work. Oof. And then next, hang on, I'm on the right spot. At the last two, so then you got 1 flat 3, flat 5. So C sharp diminished, so another diminished. So you got the E diminished, you got C sharp diminished. You also have a double flat 7, so you actually could do a fully diminished 7th chord, which means you also can have this, B flat diminished, which also means you can have a G, or sorry, B flat diminished 7, G diminished 7, and you also just have the diminished 2. Anyway, and then the last one, this, I guess you could call this, because you got the double flat 3. You'd be like, okay, well now you got another, another diminished chord, but also with a double flat 3. So you could say D sharp diminished double flat 3. So it ended up being this. And that just keeps the intervals in mind that are actually listed there. So there we go. Theory aplenty. So yeah, riff around in it, come up with stuff. Any questions, let me know. But there we go. Our Souls of Black modes based on the chorus. Okay, any questions come up, let me know, and I will see you again in 2 weeks.